You will be royally spoiled if you join the stream, so be careful if you have not finished Persona 5 Royal. Guys, the YouTube algorithm, the RNG just loves the likes and the dislikes too, you know, and comments and stuff. It likes the engagement. So if you guys want to leave one of those, like hit the like. Let's see if we can get 100 likes. What should I do? I'll cosplay one of the characters you choose, I guess. Should that be a thing? Should we make that a thing? Let's make that a thing. Let's make that a thing. 100 likes and on the video, and we'll do a cosplay of your guys' vote choosing. This is really important in my opinion because I like the symbolism, right? So the way they add to the like tarot or arcana is gonna be high on the criteria list for me personally. But other than that, we're going to also, of course, I'm gonna factor in their personality and stuff, just because, you know, even if I think they have a really good role in the story, they just might not be my cup of tea as a character, so that might, you know, make them go a little bit lower. As you can see on my tier list, the rankings are like, of course, freaking love, like, baby, you are my angel, okay? That tier, and much love, like, all of these tiers, you can tell that I have a hard time, like, straight up hating, like, a character. Like, even if so if I knew them in real life, I'd probably, like, hate them, even if that's the case. I have a hard time hating characters in fiction because we're able to have a very objective, like, removed third-person lens. So yeah, because of that, the worst tier is like just no. Like, just no, but it's not straight up like fucking hate them or, you know, so there we go. There we go. But yeah, okay guys. I feel like Blooming Villain, oh sorry, why did I say Blooming Villain? Keeper of Lust just started, which means I feel like it's time to freaking hype up and let's go. We're going in order, I guess. So the first one is freaking Joker. This is easy. No, just kidding. This is easy. He's freaking angel tier, okay? Like, because of Persona 5 Royal, original Persona 5, like vanilla Persona 5, he's kind of like, you know, like he's still cool. I like his vibe, but Persona 5 Royal is where I think he really shines because to get to the third semester, right, you have to do all the Akechi stuff. You have to voluntarily hang out with him. You have to voluntarily hang out with Maruki. So he has an actual, like, legit character that's making decisions this time around, right? You have to hang out with Kasumi all the way to rank 5 or else you're not going to understand, right? Like, the thing that comes afterwards in the third semester. So there's those times where you have to, like, remember, like, you get to choose to remember the promise or not you made with Akechi, right? And gosh dang it, you guys know from the Akechi video that I legit am I'm a shipper. I ship that. Joker is that one theater kid. Isn't he though? I love how Joker is so extra. You know, like Yu Narukami is such a, like, Chad, and then Makoto is just, you know, well, I guess from the movies at least, he's sort of just sad boy times, and then learns to love life, but then Joker is just so extra. Like, his first cutscenes, the first cutscene of the entire game, he's like Lelouch, right? In Code Geass, like, he's just hamming it up. So, yeah. straight up the same voice actor, so... Ryuji, what a freaking bro, okay? But please don't send hate. Don't send hate for me to me when I rank him here. Not at the top, but I love you. I love you. Ryuji is a very good boy. Much love, but he's not quite there. I don't know. I guess it's just the fact that, like, he's not super vital in the plot. Like, is he vital to the Phantom Thieves as a team? Hell yeah. Like, he's the heart. He's the heart of the team, okay? Because even though he has, like, a lot of the flaws at the beginning, right? Like, the whole, I want us to be popular and I want us to have that, like, cred from being Phantom Thieves and stuff in the public eye. It's like, at the end of the day, he was the only one who, like, stepped up at the beginning to go against the bad people, right? Yeah. Ryuji is the best bro character. So I like how Ryuji was not, like, a magician like P3 and P4 were when it came to, like, oh, this is the best bro, yeah. Dude, Henry Roden too. Makoto, best girl. Just wanted to say, oh, guys, you're going to hate me for where I put Makoto. Oh no, but yeah, speaking of on, let's go. On! I freaking love Takamaki, okay? She was actually my first playthrough of Persona 5, so the vanilla Persona 5. I romanced on. And I don't do harem route, though I do like to watch everyone's romance route on YouTube. But yeah, freaking on Takamaki, okay guys? She's just so sweet. I love how, like, sweet she is. Yeah, dude, no, oh my gosh, bubble tea. Guys, bubble tea, if you like high quality Persona shitpost stuff, go subscribe to Bubble Tea. If you like Persona 3 a lot, hell, you have to go subscribe to Bubble Tea. If you just like Persona, subscribe to Bubble Tea. He does a lot of cool analyses. Also, Yukari defending. Guys, the original trio, speaking of Yusuke, I'm sorry, he also goes in much love tier. Wait, am I right? Oh shoot, am I ranking in order? This is a question. Oh god. I'm gonna say no right now. So the order they are in the actual tier, I'm gonna say for now, maybe for the rest of the actual tier list, they're not actually in order. But yeah, it's okay. Yusuke's confidant. He has one of my favorite confidants in Persona 5. I love how he's really trying to weigh between, like, his abuser, but his abuser still technically also having been his, like, father, basically. His father figure, but his father. And I feel like that can be such a difficult thing for a lot of people who are in that circumstance. And I love how, like, that translates into, you know, art and depicting people, because a lot of the times art is depicting human relationships and depicting real people that just learning that there's not all good and all bad. And I feel like that's a very, like, more Eastern philosophical view of stuff. If you want to learn more, go check out my Yusuke video if you haven't watched it yet. And then just Yusuke, freaking hashtag feed Yusuke, please. Like, please do this. Makoto! Oh, where does she go? Where is she gonna go? Where? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Makoto fans. I think so. Her role in the story, really cool. Like, is she a cool character? Heck yeah. I love how she is willing to go into police force even though she knows how corrupt and how difficult it's gonna be, because that's literally what they've been fighting this whole time, right? The freaking police. And it's literally the job that she knows like got her dad killed, right? But even so, like, I very much appreciate and respect her as like a person and her goals, you know, and like how, you know, she's really compassionate and everything. I do love that, you know, about her. But I think it's just because of her personality, it just doesn't really vibe or mesh with me as much, I think. Oh, her relationship with Sae too. Like, that's really wholesome. I love how much she did for her sister. This is acceptable. Thanks, Fither. Oh, Futaba. She is great. She is great. But, oh my gosh. Oh my god. Yeah, I love her. I love the freaking gremlin. I'll be honest, I think in vanilla P5, I wouldn't have ranked her as high. I think it's because of my replay and also doing that like analysis on her that like puts her up more. And also just, I think being a girl and being a gamer, I just really have to like root for her, you know, like I cheer for Futaba. She is not afraid to be herself. She just, boom. This is the lingo that my friend Lenny coined. We both coined it together. I boat Futaba and Joker. And boat means when you ship it platonically. Like, I like them as brother and sister kind of relationship personally. Like, that is so wholesome to me. Okay, this is... I know she wasn't executed very well as she could have been. Even though I will say, yo, if you want to know more about Mukoyoshi, guys, which is the practice that her dad was basically gonna do with her, marry her to someone, you know, a guy who will take over the Okamura business. That's an actual common practice still in Japanese businesses and stuff. So if you want to know more about that, go watch the Haru video. But because I really, really like Haru's personality, I love how like she's both super sweet, but like pretty sadistic in a way. Like, beware the nice ones kind of persons. And this is another thing. I love her persona design. Like, her persona design and her Phantom Thief attire. Like, that's top tier to me. Probably because in Madoka Magica, Mami was always like one of my faves, if not my fave, just design-wise. So she goes in much love territory. I'm so sorry. Like, the story-wise, Makoto and Haru are like completely swapped in like overall importance or role in story. But Haru's personality just being more interesting or jiving with me more, Haru goes into much love tier. So anyway, this is easy, okay? Who freaking makes an over an hour video on a character that they think is not that great? Who does that, right? Who does that? So this is easy. Enjoy! tier. Easy. Like, Akechi is my favorite. I think basically in all of Persona so far that I've played, he and probably Junpei are like my favorite characters. His confidant. Like, Royal, what a huge difference. An amazing, huge difference. Like, Akechi was like, he was an interesting premise to me in the vanilla, but I would not have ranked him here in vanilla. Even if I thought he was like pretty interesting, most of the stuff was like only headcanon that would take him like into a higher tier. But with what we got, like the mandatory confidant, that mandatory confidant in vanilla P5 was so fucking bad. I'm glad they just became, you know, they were still scenes that were in Royal, so that's great. Like, they didn't take out those scenes at all. But of course the not mandatory. I keep like mixing the words. The voluntary confidant in Royal like really elevated Akechi for me by connection. Joker as well as a protagonist. They really did a good job of making these guys like foils of each other. LOL, hot take, vanilla Akechi's confidant is worse than Ohya's. Hell yeah, no, that is facts. Sumi is my fave gal from Royal. I love the personality at the beginning, but also knowing that that's not her real personality. But seeing her mesh that with like the Sumi personality she has at the end, which is basically just like, you know, her having more confidence at the end after she sorts through everything. I also just love how like she has just this huge trauma that just happened to her, because it just happened to her like that year, right? Well, I guess technically by the time the third semester comes around, it's been like almost a year, right, since her sister died. And just the fact that that's still so fresh for her, you know, that trauma, but she still decides to actually like fight with everyone and know like she can't run away anymore. Man, I have so much respect for Sumi. And like seeing the real awakening, that was really cool. Oh, Morgana! Guys, please don't hate me that literally Makoto and Morgana are in the same tier. Holy shit, I did not see that coming, but oh man, that looks so bizarre. The magician archetypes are the rash ones. They are gonna be the ones who I think can feel very flawed in how they are very quick to action, whether they've really thought through it or not. They can have that ego, you know? They have that like ego, that need to feel like wanted and special, and that can hinder them from doing healthy things in their relationships. So even though he was a little shit to Ryuji, I like the symbolism of the Arcana or Tarot. Oh, speaking of go to sleep, guys, the best thing is that Mona in Royal, he doesn't say go to fucking sleep barely ever anymore. So huge win, huge freaking like pog moment. Igor is kind of just like there. I mean, I think this was a really cool way to get around the fact that like the VA has changed, you know? So very creative. Either way, the real and the fake Igor does the job. He does what he's supposed to do. Like, all the Velvet Room attendants, they're like all there, I guess. Lavenza, though. Lavenza, I actually really like. Where, guys, imagine this. How did this happen? Lavenza gets to go into the We're Cool category. Makoto and Lavenza are in the same tier. I don't know how this happened. You know, she's very like daughter material, okay? The fact that Joker as a character, wait, what the hell just happened? What the fuck? Oh my god. That was scary. For a second, I was like, what the hell happened to my tier list? Sorry, going back to Joker as a protagonist in P5, he has both a school life and a non-school life, right? Like as in P3 and P4, those guys, their school life is still very much tied into their, you know, like exploring shadows, whatever life, because they have a lot of confidants or social links with other school characters, right? Versus Joker, all of his confidants, like, are not with school people besides like Kawakami and the actual Phantom Thieves, right? So because of that, he has a very dual life, and also the fact that like the metaverse is, I don't know, like where he can be his real self, that which is very, very different from the kind of like very fake persona he puts on in school and day-to-day life during probation, right? So he lives a very dual life, and that's kind of like symbolized in the twins. They're both very dual personalities, the two of them. And then once Joker is able to become sort of like one again, in the sense where like he's allowed to show his real self to people outside, not just the metaverse, but you know, like, oh, take off your mask, your true self in the final months of the game. It's like Lavenza, I think, symbolizes like him becoming whole again too. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but I like to think it was, because otherwise why would you need this? Jose is same, like I don't know, he's just sort of like there. Yeah, guys, this is the question. What the heck is Jose? I legit don't think we know. Like, we just don't know yet. He'll probably be elaborated on in like a spin-off, is what I'm thinking. Like, I'm thinking he's gonna be our tie-in into like whatever persona, like whatever Lenny always thinks up. Like Persona cooking spin-off, Persona like racing spin-offs, like all the sequel spin-offs. He's gonna be in one of them. Namatame? What the hell? Namatame and his creepy kidnapper van in Persona Racing. Namatame kart racing. Okay, guys, Soja Bro goes into much love category. Oh my god, how is this happening? He's above Makoto again. Guys, he's not... Oh, shoot, actually... You know what? I think this is where he's gonna go. This is where he's gonna go. Yeah, dude. The dad, like, thinking about how just single parents in general in Japan are like fucking rare. But the fact that this man is a single dad, freaking had the person who, you know, like unrequited, I guess, if you guys want to believe that or not, depending on if you like shipped or thought that like Sojiro like was in love with Wakaba or not or whatever, but like the fact that he's just like there to take care of her kid, and not only because she's her, you know, Wakaba's kid, but he comes to love Futaba for just like who she is. you know? And just personally for me, like, my mom also passed away when I was in high school. So like, I have so much respect for like my single dad, you know? What a dude, yeah. He deserves this. Sojiro deserves this, okay? Best coffee dad. And not only Futaba, like, he ends up becoming the dad to all of these kids, basically. Because none of them have a father figure. Or a good one, at least, in their lives, right? Oh my god. I think this is a pretty hot take. Guys, this is a hot take. This is a hot take. I really love Mishima. I love that he's not supposed to be super likable, you know, as a character. He's really not. But I appreciate how much he like grows, and especially in like confidence aspect throughout his like confidant and also the game, you know. And let's be honest, like the fan site, we would not have had any of our mementos requests without the fan site, so thank you, Mishima. Literally, NPC Mishima is in the same tier as Futaba. How did this happen? Being Sean Chiplock helps. I do think that is the case. Sean Chiplock helps a lot, guys. Reen Bean. He is Reen Bean. Mishima does get to be a protagonist in his own series. It's called Trails of Cold Steel. Guys, Shiho is freaking cool. She is so fucking strong. And if you have seen my on video, you will know that like I can really relate to her personally with the whole like she had to like learn how to walk again. And that happened to me actually in like 2016, pretty much all of 2016. I had to learn to walk again and to dress myself, feed myself, all that stuff, because I had like this huge neurological illness just like hit me, and I was like paralyzed. So yeah, I like really personally can relate to that aspect of Shiho, but she's one tier below much love just because besides that we don't really get enough, I think, from her story wise. Sae goes into much love category. I love Lawyer Mom. I don't know, her design is so good. I love it. She's like the Aurelia, yet more no nonsense. But she's like the Aurelia of Persona 5 for me. I have so much respect for the fact that like she, at the end of the day, was able to change herself without having her treasure like completely stolen. Oh god, above her sister. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh god. She got us out of jail though, guys. She's a defense attorney, and that means a lot. Guys, if you want to know more about why it means so much that she was willing to become a defense attorney in Japan, go watch my Joker analysis video. Yeah. The criminal justice system stuff is in there. All right, guys, this is easy. This is easy ranking. Boom. Even though he is so unethical as a like practicing counselor or anything, but the fact that he has such a big heart and really does care about everybody. You know, he just really wanted to find a way to help the world. And even though it was not the right way, I appreciate that he cares so much, that he's so compassionate. He does bring up a lot of good point slash things that I think a lot of us who are in this kind of field, because so for me, I like both study and have done internship and stuff for social work. And like social workers, counselors, therapists, I think a lot of us in that kind of profession, it is something that's it is hard to accept the fact that you're not gonna be able to help everybody. And sometimes we're even better off referring our client to someone else who might be able to help them more, you know. Just because, you know, different counselors have different styles and personalities, and sometimes it just doesn't mesh with the client. And it's just, even then, a person themselves has to have the desire to change too. So you have to be able to accept that as much as you try, you're not going to be able to help every single person. I appreciate the discourse and narrative that we're able to talk about because he's there. And this is a major thing too, because Japan is, I would say, even more conservative in the sense where mental health is still, I know mental health is still very much stigmatized in this country and in the West too, but like especially in Japan, and I think a lot of these Eastern Asian countries, mental health is like a huge stigma still. He's not really a villain, right? In the sense of a villain. He's like the antagonist, that's for sure. But yeah, I think that's the beauty of the fact that I have a hard time labeling him a villain. He's the antagonist of the story. Kawakami, I'm sorry, as much as I think you are like a cool person and I appreciate you, I appreciate teachers who really care about their students, because I owe a lot to my teachers growing up, but especially my high school teachers, because in high school, my last couple years of high school, my mom was sick. So there was a lot of times where I'd have to miss school to take care of my mom if the caregiver couldn't come to our house in time. And they were so understanding, and still, you know, if I had questions, they would always be there for me. Yeah, staying like late overtime at school on the days where like I would come back to get me like caught up in everything. So yeah, like I definitely appreciate Kawakami as a teacher who really cares about her students, like truly cares about their well-being and everything, once she feels free to care about them again, right? When she's able to be her true self again. Her personality, it just doesn't jive as much with me. So because of that, she's going in we're cool category. But yeah, here we go, guys. Tae! Much love! Oh, I love her. She's so cool. Man, I just love her. I like her snark. Okay, guys? Like, I like the snarky characters. And the fact that she has that kind of like sarcasm, that like sort of dark humor sometimes. And I do know that a lot of you are looking at other things. Dr. Legs, am I right? I know where you guys are looking. Yeah, her story, how it brings attention to how like things in the medical field a lot of the times are conducted, unfortunately. The fact that like it is a lot of the times about the connections you have in the hospital and practice and stuff, even if it means that really talented people get pushed down and pushed out of the system, while like literally malpractice people get to keep practicing in a lot of cases. It's pretty horrific, but the fact that her story just highlights that, something that's I don't think not as commonly talked about in the medical field. I really like that aspect of her confidant. She works so hard to become a doctor, even, you know, with her own illness. And actually, it's probably the fact that she has an illness herself that she's able to empathize and like really put herself in her patient's shoes. This whole stream is making me realize how I empathize with so many of these confidants and how much I just love this game. Damn. Ah, you love to see it. I love to see it, Aaron. Yeah, I totally... That's me. Like, maybe it's because... Yeah, actually, it probably helps to feed into each other. The fact that, like, I like to put myself in other people's shoes. And vice versa, like social work helps me to learn how to do that better, even with people who I might not like at the beginning and stuff, just to see where they're coming from kind of thing. I don't know, I just really love that. And the Persona games, because they deal with people and really dive into their psyche and stuff and their problems. Hifumi! Oh, I really love her, but damn it. Oh, as much as I really like her, she's still just gonna go in much love. Like, she is one of my favorites, Hifumi. I have so much respect for the fact that, like, she admitted publicly, right? She came out publicly the fact that all her matches were rigged. Like, think about how embarrassing that is. But she did it. She was honest, and then she still had the match, and she totally got, like, decimated, right? Against that pro. But even then, like, she has so much hope. And I'm just gonna comment on the fact that, like, the star as an Arcana or Tarot type, it really resonates with me personally. Like, I think out of all of the Arcanas and stuff, probably my favorite is the star when it comes to, like, what it stands for. Basically, like, having inner peace with yourself. And also, like, a big part of it too is, like, still having hope even when things seem really bleak or, like, really, you know, dark, because it's basically like the single star in the sky, right? That's still there, like that tiny single bright light that's still there. I think as a, just my overall outlook on life, my personality is one to, you know, look more optimistically at things, while still recognizing that, you know, some stuff sucks, but there's still hope in spite of that. She could have legit been here, but because she's not, she doesn't play any role in, like, the main story really at all. Like, I just don't think that's very deserving. All right, Iwai, Gun Dad. Easy, Kaiji Tank. So seriously, I think because I started playing Yakuza actually, I started playing Yakuza 0 like about a month ago. It hits even more like Gundad's story. He wanted the best for this just random kid that's just like left behind and didn't want him to get caught up in, you know, the Yakuza business. And oh my god, layer cake. Like, just layer cake alone. Dude, I just realized, holy shit, how did I forget to put layer cake in the playlist that's playing right now? Oh my god. I'm so stupid. Guys, wait, we're going to turn it on right now. Okay. I feel so bad that I didn't put it in here. Holy shit. How could I do this? Okay, that's better. I don't know how I forgot, guys. But I like had a brain fart before the stream when I was like putting this playlist together. Okay, guys, this is the interesting one. I don't think Ohya's that bad. I legit don't think she's that bad, especially because she's a really good example of like devil arcana, devil archetype. Because so in the tarot, you know how all the tarot have the reverse meanings. When they're reversed, they have the negative aspects of the archetype, right? All the arcana do. So like even the magician, the high priestess, the chariot, like they all have their own reverse type. But within the tarot itself too, there's just types in general that are known as like the dark or negative ones. So Hanged Man, Devil, Moon, and I guess like the Tower, like those four are usually considered like they're very technically negative arcana. So a lot of the people in those arcana archetypes, they're not supposed to be likable, okay, as other characters, like in comparison to other characters of other arcana. So because of that, I think she's just a good example of like the devil archetype, because devil archetype is about, you have to, a lot of the hedonistic like comforts that you have that help like your coping mechanism, a lot of hedonistic coping mechanisms and stuff for the devil archetype, they have to learn to let that go. She still maybe likes to drink more than she should, even by the end, right? But despite that, she's definitely a lot better than what she was at the front when we first met her, and the whole like, she's such an alcoholic, right? So because of that, she goes back to journalism with passion again, right? All right, guys, Chihaya. Oh my god, I fucking love Chihaya. Like, much love, okay? She is so underrated in my opinion, okay? I don't know, I like her design. Like, some people think she looks like a freaking homeless person. And I'm like, I like her design. It fits, you know, her like fortune teller kind of like vibe and everything. Personally resonates with me as the fact that like she basically got caught in like an MLM slash like guru cult thing, you know, right? Like, and growing up in Southern California and SoCal, there are so many MLMs, and you see them preying on people who are, especially because like I lived in SoCal near LA, like I lived in Orange County, and LA County, Orange County, that's where people come to have so many, you know, try to get a better opportunity in a lot of like the arts industries, that kind of thing. And oh my god, the fucking MLMs prey on these people who had like just moved to LA. And also a lot of immigrants, a lot of people who have come from other countries to try and have like a better, you know, beginning or start in America. And that includes my mom. Like she almost was preyed on by like an MLM because so many of them try to get into a lot of the immigration circles, and my mom was from Japan. So it's just like, I have so much like respect and so proud of Chihaya that like she got out of that, and she even has the goal of like paying back people who she scammed, you know? Also, guys, like freaking her confidant rank skills are amazing, right? She is pretty much the reason why the entire third semester of Royal, I had like nothing to do because I finished everything early thanks to Chihaya. You know, he might be in fucking angel category if he, you know, if we see him in a future game, which I can see us doing like in the news or something, because he's elected, right? Or we assume he won the election, right? Did we actually get confirmation that he did? But man, the fact that this guy has grown. See, this is why me too, like I get the frustration, guys. I really get the frustration that, you know, we can have towards our politicians, right? And like, as someone who follows that closely, like there's a lot of politicians who I'm just like, why the fuck are you still in office? And how are people keep re-electing you? That kind of thing. So I get the frustration. But because of people like No Good Tora, I think we do have to remember that people can change for the better. And the fact that like Tora owns up to everything he, you know, is at fault for and is really trying to be better, like, man, Tora is so cool. And yeah, as someone who is very like, I would say, into keeping up with current events and, you know, just being politically active is important for me. And when I mean like political activism, I mean like, you know, you don't always have to be fucking like helping politicians campaign and all that stuff, but just, you know, even being aware of the issues, I think, and knowing where you stand on them. Maybe like supporting causes that are important to you. That's political activism. So as someone who is like very much into that, I have a lot of like fuzzy feelings for the fact that like Tora is an actually very rare but good example of the fact that, hey, some politicians they're not all bad. And then freaking Get Smoked Kid. Okay, Get Smoked Kid, I really like his confidant. I'll be honest. And he's such a brat. I like how he is such a good example of like, is he a bratty kid? Hell yeah, he is. But like, does he learn and grow up from it? Yeah, and I think it's really wholesome to know that he learned really good character and had a really good model in like Joker. Like just the older teen. Like the fact that this little kid is just having this cool friendship with this older high schooler. I don't know, that's wholesome to me. Lady did wrong by not calling Shinya by name. I'm sorry, Get Smoked Kid. She's not gonna go in just no category, okay? Even though she's such a bitch, she really spurs on in a good way. Like, I like the competition, and the fact that I like On and her like confidant, because modeling is kind of rare, I think, to be touched on in general. Like, a lot of women's interests are kind of rarely touched on in games. He cannot be in Does the Job tier. I'm sorry, even the, oh god, that sounds so bad. He's not in Does the Job tier even though he does the, yeah. You know what I mean, guys. He's here, he's in Just No tier. Alright? I mean, he's a good example of what people get away with in real life all the time. If you want to learn more about that, watch my On video. Story-wise, a good villain. Yes, indeed. He is a villain in the very true sense. Like, Maruki is an antagonist, going back to that, right? Kamoshida is just a straight-up villain. Madarame, I actually like his personality isn't like straight utter trash. Like, he still has that kind of fatherly side to him when it comes to Yusuke, even if it's not healthy, you know? Like, is he a good father by any means? No. But just the fact that, probably because I was in the fine arts, in the sense where like I did like orchestra, band, jazz band, marching band, like just the fine arts kind of stuff in general, theater, like pit and all that stuff. I understand in the sense where music and physical art has a very similar problem of being such a competitive field. A lot of the times it is about the connections you have that can determine whether you're successful or not. I can really empathize with, I think, how he felt in the beginning. You know, he does his job as a example of this kind of person, I think. Someone who is kind of disillusioned. and would do terrible things to Yusuke and other peoples to get to the top. But yeah, this guy, he's just kind of there. I feel like it's because we don't know enough about him that it's weird. He's in this category for like opposite reasons of Madarame. Don't really have any opinion on him, really. He's not memorable enough to be in the just know category. Which, by the way, speaking of, guys, this guy easily in the just know. I don't even remember his name. What a good example, though, of privileged rich kids. Privileged rich boys who think they can, like... He almost raped Haru, right? Like, God. Likely rapist, cat kick. Yeah, he fucking abused animals. I totally forgot about that. He like kicked Morgana. Yeah, so he's just truly just no. He is horrible. Easily just no. Haru's dad, honestly, does the job. I think he's a good example of what happens when, because I don't like the saying absolute power corrupts absolutely. I'm more of a person who's inclined to believe power reveals, as in, like, once you have power, your true self goes on display. Are you gonna take advantage of that, or are you going to shy away from it, right? Because you know what the right thing to do is. So I can see him as a good example of what happens when a kind of more normal businessman gets a hold of that kind of power. So Shido, he does the job, the rhetoric of the political campaigns, the whole "let me steer this nation" and "let's take back a more powerful Japan." This guy, honestly, I'm gonna also put him in just no category, cause damn, this guy, knowing that, like, he knew what Kamoshida was doing. I'm sure or he was just like fucking stupid. Like, either way, the fact that he's just basically complicit in letting Kamoshida rule the school, that was horrible. So because of that, he's in just no category. But yeah, this is the tier list, guys. Thank you for joining me. Oh, I'm pointing the wrong way. Here it is. Really quick, I will tell you, the best way to keep in touch here is to join the Discord, guys. Join the Discord, because a lot of the updates on things are gonna be there. Let me find that. I'll also put a link to the Discord and everything in the actual video. I'll like edit this video down for people who weren't able to join us today.